Good morning. Good morning. It is 4:23 a.m. I am on my way to the gym right now. Every morning, I get down and I pray. And my prayer is always different. Prayer, supplication, prayer. It's important. And this morning, so last night I had the little ones, my youngest, which is a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old. If you know about the 2 and the 7, it gets a little rough. And these guys were yelling. One minute they'd be playing. Next minute somebody's dying. Then they go back to playing. And then we walk into a store and they want something, and then they can't agree on what they're gonna get and share. And it's just it kind of reminds me of like Congress. Like a bunch of, like they can't, they're always up in the air about where they at with each other. And they're running through the store. I was at GNC and they're running through the store, and I'm like, stop running. And they're just running. And I'm like, stop. And I give them reasons why they need to stop. I'm not going to buy you this. I'm not going to do this. Stop. So then we leave out of the store and we're in the car, and I'm trying to make, I still got a couple calls coming in. So I'm catching the calls and trying to do the best I can. And I'm asking the 2-year-old and the 7-year-old, could they please sit in the back seat and be quiet while I take these calls? And they would go from yelling to laughing really loud to Sanaya, which is the 2-year-old, would go blah, 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 blah. And she would start singing the ABCs real loud, which was her sign to me, I want you to get off the phone so that we can go about what we were doing. I say all that to simply say, you have an option at the point of dealing with your kids to try to discipline them for acting how kids should act, or being extremely grateful that they're acting how kids should act. And most people, I think, opt for the last option out of frustration. They would rather react. And a couple times I wanted to react. I mean, if I seen them, getting a little out of hand and maybe somebody was going to get hurt, I would become a little more animated with what I was saying and what I needed them to do. And even I took them to Arby's to get a sandwich because it was, we were out and about, and they were running around, and I had to slow them down a couple times, say, slow down, come eat. Stop running. Somebody's going to get hurt. But I gave them the leeway. So I get down and I pray, and I kept it real short, and I just said, you know what? God, I'm so thankful that you did not hide from me, and you made known to me the treasures that I have already. to hear my kids laugh and smile and cry and fight, scream. Understand the flip side of that could be your child sick in the hospital. I love St. Jude's, and I love the Children's Hospital. And I always, if there's an opportunity, I always try to donate money to those places, or children cancer treatment centers, or some for children, because when a child is afflicted with some type of sickness or illness, it's a devastating situation for a parent, because at that moment, there is no rewind or do-over for them. You know, you kind of have to deal with the cards that are dealt. And you miss, especially when they're down, you miss before they got sick, hearing them scream, because then you knew they were okay, because they got lungs strong enough to scream. And you miss them running around, but now they don't have the energy to run around. They're too tired. Their sickness is taking away their youth. It's robbing them. And I think about that. So I was just so thankful that even though they were getting on my nerves sometimes, I was thankful, because I know the flip side of that could be way worse. And you may be concerned that you're not in a relationship, but thank God you're not in danger from some man or some woman beating on you or mistreating you. And God has preserved you for the right person. Or thank God you have a utility bill issue where you don't exactly have the money and you don't know how you're going to come up with the money. Because you could have a food and a utility issue, like the person who's homeless on the street. There's always a perspective that allows you to see that the gift and the blessing that you have right now is more than what somebody else has, and more than what somebody else is dealing with. And my richness is found in my children. And in my family. The things that God has blessed me with is where my riches is found in. I would suggest, not that you do, but that you consider that there's a richness that lives inside of you as well. If you could take off the hat of why me, and then put on the hat of why not me. If not me, who else would I want this to happen to? Because every single experience is intended to teach us something about the blessings that we have, and not to draw light to the blessings we don't have.